G'day viewers. Well, haven't had much time to make videos lately. Been flat out busy with work and family now, so I've had a bit of experimentation with this old Kirby. It's the Kirby K10, the model of this unit is K10 compressor. This whole unit's all made by Kirby. I've did a bit of research, and the fridge cabinet was made by Lindbergh Foster. It's a 1935, 1936 era fridge. It's a pretty common evaporator that Lindbergh Foster used. I haven't moved it very much other than just standing this upright to test it. It does run okay, it does produce cold, but because this relay's seen better days, it just kicks off the start warning on the compressor every now and then and overloads this inverter. I'm using this to protect the compressor rather than just running it off the mains, because I don't want to destroy the motor. The rust's just taking its toll. I did clean the contacts, it did work good for a little bit, but it's gone. I have got another relay just like this off a same unit, but a couple of years ago I didn't know what I was doing, and I shorted mains directly across the hot wire and blew it to smithereens like a fuse. Other than that, that relay's in perfectly good nick to use. I'm going to take the hot wire off this one and put it on that one and fix it up, but I just cannot for the life of me find where the hell I put it. I've got it here somewhere, I just can't find where. So did a bit of a clean up. It's a Kirby K10. I thought this was a K5 compressor. It's actually a K10 unit. 1/8 horsepower. It's a and this light's gone. No, that's gone. Yeah, it's a little filter dryer that I've used. Kirby's own design. I had a good inspection. There's no major damage to any of the line work. A bit of pitting here, but it's very minor. And on the surface, so I'll just clean it up a little bit and I'm going to paint over that. I did run this thing for a little bit when the relay was behaving itself, and it did get a bit of frost and build up on the coil. So this thing does actually work quite well. The only thing I gotta do is fix the other relay and replace this one. But where I put it, I have no idea. I can't find it anywhere. I've got the original terminal covers off those off that too, which are over here. I want to take these down to my local J-car. They got a 3D printer and 3D scanner. I want to scan these, 3D scan them, and print a heap of new ones. Because this little gap here, I want to widen it by about 2 mil. That way, I can accommodate these crimp lugs I've used. So on my carbonator. My carbonator ones, those won't fit on my carbonator compressor for that reason. These lugs are just too wide to fit those terminal covers on. They do fit, but these lugs I've used are too wide, so having those scanned and 3D printed of wider slots would be perfect. I can just snap those straight on there. I'm going to get a heap of them done, because I know Wicked XC, he might need some too, so other fridge collectors just like myself can get I can bring these things to electrical safety standards. Bit of turn this one here off for now. I want to organise my shed a little bit. I want to make a spot in the corner, a wall of fridges. So I've got this pipe been running since last night. And she's working extremely well. The compressor's settled down. That's nice and frosty. Very good. I've got it done middle there on 4. This thing's working awesome. Oh, that's cold. That's awesome cold. That's working extremely well. Got the seal mostly done. But I'm going to fix this bit up down here. Other than that, this thing did cycle off overnight and cycled back on about 2 hours ago. Haven't had much sun yet. Oh, it's getting there, it's coming out. Working quite well. Yeah. On the topic of refrigeration, I do like the Kirby compressors because Kirby was one of the first, I think they were the first in Australia to make the technology. James N. Kirby, as it was known, his I think it was his, I think they were one of the first in Australia to domestically manufacture refrigerators for the Australian market. So this thing has a lot of historical significance for Australia, especially in refrigeration, because you do your research when a domestic refrigerator was invented, and there was actually a guy that immigrated to Australia from England, and he actually pretty much wanted to keep his beer cold, so he actually invented the domestic fridge, which is kind of cool. The unit was all made by Kirby, this one. The motor inside here, the pump unit and the motor inside, is actually made by Kelvinator. Kelvinator were the pretty much the dominant manufacturer back in the day, but the motor and the pump unit inside that shell is exact same as what's in there. Kelvinator just leased their units, their mechanics, to Kirby. And the Kelvinator's design was the what they called that shape of compressor, the perisphere, I think it was. And that was a strict Kelvinator only design shape. Only Kelvinator used a die to punch out that shape of compressor because it was their unique shape only Kelvinator used. And Kirby just used this shape of the die, which is pretty easy to punch out a steel plate that shape. And that's an outer shell there. This is a lid which is welded all around there. It sits inside and it welds around there. Simple to manufacture and mass produce. But the actual Kelvinator pump, the Kelvinator motor is tipped on its side. So the motor's on this half and the pump unit's on this side. And they put like a thing on the end of the crank with like a scoop to flick oil everywhere so it can run on its side. And they just bonded it to the outer shell, and not solidly like Kelvinator did, but just like the points in the side baffles what's holding it all in one piece inside that shell. But Kirby Refrigeration was sold to the K10 group of Thailand. That was back in 1999 or 1998, somewhere around there. And they pretty much sent all the manufacturing plant straight to Thailand. They bought the whole business from Australia. The plant and the dies that punch out the compressor shape and everything all went straight to Thailand by K10 group. When they were making the Tecumseh Kirby compressors, I haven't got one here to show you, but there's the ones I used before for my air compressor. Little oval, flat profile oval compressors, Tecumseh Kirby compressors that I've got. Yeah, I don't have any here at the moment, but basically that shell is still being used as its current shape. There's a lot of Chinese manufacturers now using that punch out shape of it. Kirby still do make refrigerating units under their name, but in Thailand by K10. So the name is Kirby K10 now. But I haven't really moved this thing around much because I don't want to damage any line work or crease any lines. Since it does work and produce a nice frosty coil, it's worthwhile fixing it. I'm going to design a frame to hold it all up and support it all, and a cabinet for this to go in. Just got to replace that relay. That's the only thing now. But this is actually quieting down a lot. The compressor's not too hot either. Amazing. It's settled down quite well, this one. Good heat rejection all throughout. The compressor's not overly hot either. So this thing's actually working quite well. I'm glad I saved this thing from getting scrapped. But I picked up some other from that place which is now getting demolished. The land's getting cleared. Got the Age newspaper from 1971. There's some interesting stuff in these. January is 9, January is 7 from the same year, 1971. From Melbourne though, not the local Mildura one. If it was a Mildura newspaper, it'd be even more collectible because a lot of the local historians love this sort of thing. Here we go. Let's see, this is the Mildura paper. It might be. The Sun, Tuesday, January 26, 1971. Look at that, eh? Small lines were under $500. Look at that. There's some nice stuff in here, Mercedes. which was cutting edge at the time. We've got some nice, let's have a look at some interesting ones. Just on him up with the Melbourne one. No, the Sun. Oh, the Ozone Theatre. I remember that in Mildura. The Ozone Theatre was a historic building built in 1935 and demolished in 1978 by our backwards regressive council. And they built a bank there, which is now closed. I'm going to preserve all this, because this is all very historic. I could be doing hours of just going through this on a video. There's a very interesting stuff here. Here we go. Here's a nice fridge advert, and then I'm a fridge collector, and the video is mostly about fridges and refrigeration for us collectors. Look at this one. What brand is this one? Doesn't say what brand it is. What brand is it? Let's have a look. Oh, sold by State Electricity Commission Sales Centres, or State Electricity Commission Retail Centre. No, what a good old days, weren't they? Doesn't say what brand this fridge is. That looks like a carbonator there. From Melbourne, this ad. Look at that. Yes, we did have a drive-in cinema. I remember that. The remnants of it. My parents used to go there when they were young all the time. Drop some. But this is just so interesting. Just some historic stuff here. Yeah. Interesting stuff. I could be here all day showing you these historic ads and stuff. Oh yeah, those old wardrobes. Look how cheap they were back then. The average income was pretty small there back then too. But yeah, very good finds, very good finds. But the that site's now flat. There's nothing there now, so the land's all been cleared. Everything's all been scrapped. Got a couple of more switches. Save the rest of that. Gutted the old swampy, got the float valve, the pump. The main fan motor was completely rusted away. It was an old Convair, an old Sealy Convair swampy, which is too far gone. I just got the goodies out of it. Anyway, that'll be enough for now. Thanks for watching.